Hi, I'm Maggie,
Hi, I'm Grace, and this is
a very bookish podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to a very bookish podcast. Today is episode 54. It is not only episode 54, but it is also the last episode of 2021. To think that we have been doing this for over a year now. We've completed 2021. We've had some breaks, but this is the last episode of 2021 because we will be taking a 2-week hiatus break kind of to reevaluate, find guests who are going to be on next. And we have like trips planned and stuff, and so we can't really record while we're doing that stuff. So it's exciting.
yeah, it's definitely going to be a jam-packed 2 weeks. So we had a lot going on in real life. So we are
Well,
going
this
to
is real life, just our personal lives.
you know what I mean. Not in front of the camera. Away.
Yeah.
We might do like a short mini
If we have the
vlog.
time. Oh.
Yeah, but on like YouTube of like next week.
Well, Grace and I are going to be meeting each other in the next
For
2
the
weeks.
first time.
For the first time we're going to be meeting each other. I'm going to LA for Christmas. Well, a little bit after Christmas.
She's coming to LA for me. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
She's coming for me.
Literally, like, my one condition with my parents was like, I want a day to spend with Grace. And so I got a day where I'm going to be seeing Grace and we're going to be spending time in LA together. And like, it's surreal because like, I'm going to see you and I'm going to want to hug you, but like, I'm not really a big hugger, but like, I want to hug you.
I'm going to let you take the initiative with it. I am a hugger. I probably, you know what I'm going to tell you? I'm telling you right now, I'm most likely not going to cry because I've had the excitement in me already, so now I'm used to it because I know it's coming.
Watch this bitch cry. Watch her bawl her eyes out.
No, but what it is like, you know how I am. I get really excited about something, but then when it comes, I'm like monotone. I'm just like,
yeah,
cool.
It's gonna be Grace and I like walking together like to each other, and then we're just standing there and then we're like, "What's up?"
So,
hello.
Hey.
Hi. That's what it's gonna be.
So we might do that on YouTube. So if you guys look out for that, it might be like a quick snippets of like what we do throughout the day. It's not going to be anything too
long or
structured. Yeah, it's just going to be like watching like mini vlog. Anyways, maybe not. We'll see. But other than that, do look forward for our first episode in the next year. That's going to be really exciting. It's going to be with 2 special guests who we are going to do an in-room recording with everybody together, which is going to be really interesting. It's going to be the first time we do one.
I'm seeing Grace twice.
Twice. It's going to be really weird. It's going to be like, dang, Maggie, that's enough. Let's wait a year before we do this again.
We'll literally see each other in the summertime.
And then we see each other 6 months later. Yeah. Also, if somebody out there has an Apollyon Package B ticket to ApollyCon 2022, please DM me. I need that ticket.
Yeah.
And nobody in the Facebook thread is responding. But yeah, a lot of new things for the new upcoming year. We have a lot of things for our shop as well. We are completely transitioning into our new lines of what we are trying to do. We do want to get a lot of shirts out to you guys. We have some buttons that we are going to start showing you guys on our Instagram stories before we drop them. Also giving them to a lot of our friends. Just kind of transitioning to how what we've been reading is reflecting what we're putting out, because we don't really read YA anymore. Not really.
Yeah. We have some plans for 2022. I'm turning 21. We're gonna have our drunk episode.
We're gonna have our tipsy episode. That's gonna be a fun one
Because
to
we're gonna be
do.
reviewing Dune for our like tipsy episode. We're gonna be reviewing.
Oh, that's
Dune.
right. That's right. We are.
I
We
can't
are.
wait for
I
that.
forgot. That's gonna be a fun episode.
That's gonna be really
It's gonna
funny.
be very chaotic.
We're both gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
It's gonna be something.
It's gonna be iconic.
But yeah, it's a lot of things. A lot of things coming up.
So today we're gonna be talking about We're gonna talk about a little bit update on our 12 days of Bookmas, 12 books of Christmas. That was like so wrong. I'm doing well. Grace, not so much, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Hey. I'm doing as well as I could be, okay? I'm behind, but I didn't think I would get this far.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I'm kind of just gonna quickly tell what books I have read. So I read The Stopover by T.L. Swan. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. I read Love at First Spite by Anne E. Collins. This comes out January 4th. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The Maddest Obsession, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. What I'm gonna say about The Maddest Obsession is I prefer The Sweetest Oblivion over The Maddest Obsession, and I know I want to get the third book so bad, but I cannot buy any more books right now. So this is
look. I'm totally fine with how she feels about this book because, as we know, The Maddest Obsession is my book. It's my top read of the year. It is my number one book boyfriend. I will die on a hill with him. So I'm totally fine with people not rating it 5 out of 5 because it's just like, yeah, that's great because it's not for you, it's for me.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly fine with her not liking it. She enjoyed it though, just not 100%. I do know when she reads the third book, that's gonna be her man.
Because the
That's
fourth
her
book
man.
is coming out, so I need to read the third book soon. So once I pay off all my credit card bills, I'll get
Do you want to know who the fourth book is about?
Is it about oh my god, my mom's calling me. I'm texting her, I'm with you.
It's about Perez. It's about Perez.
Who's that?
He's the Colombian cartel guy.
Sebastian? Or no?
Yeah.
His name's Perez?
His last name.
Did you spoil something for me?
No, his last name.
Oh, I didn't. I only know him by Sebastian.
Well, the last name is Perez. I think it's Perez because his brother was the one that was supposed to be betrothed to Elena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how Sebastian came in.
Okay. So it's his book
because that was his brother, and his brother was killed.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Due to he owned something that Nico wanted, so he was cut out the picture, and then the story moves forward.
So yeah, so I liked The Maddest Obsession, but I couldn't rate it a 5 stars because it didn't give me that oomph that like the first one did. But so I read The Maddest Obsession, and then I read Kingdom of the Cursed by Carrie Maniscalco. Eamon knows. I've been texting Eamon. Eamon and I had like an hour like FaceTime chat where we talked about this book. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I cannot wait for the third book to come out. The title was like dropped, and Eamon called me, and we like both reacted to it together. But yes, Kingdom of the Cursed, I gave 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. And then
I still have to read both.
I know
books.
this bitches still have to read the first book. I got it on
you have it on audio. Yeah.
But next one is LoveCon by Ceresia Glass. But I love this cover. The cover is cute. Just and it's so cute. It was such a cute book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but like a good 4 out of 5 stars.
Oh,
Um,
whoa. Madison Obsession was not a good four.
well, like Madison Obsession was like
No. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
there's like different types of stars, but this
Yeah.
one
I get what you mean.
this one reminded me a lot of Spoiler Alert by Olivia
Mm-hmm.
Dade. It's that like famous person style. So that's really what I enjoyed about this. And then I read the 8th book, Barbarian's Touch, from the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I told myself the books are really short. The audiobooks are really fast. I can get through a ton of these, and that's what I've been doing. And then
So that's how you've been racking up your books.
yeah. And then the most recent book that I read is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This one I gave it on Goodreads 4 out of 5 stars, but I really give it like 3.5 out of 5 stars. I just wasn't I didn't expect the story to go how it did. And you know, like everybody does like the Atlas and Lily like montages on TikTok and stuff, and I thought it would be a lot more of Atlas and Lily in this book, and we didn't get that. That might be a minor spoiler, but it definitely is about Lily and Ryle more.
Yeah, it so from what I've heard, because I haven't read any Colleen Hoover books, but most of Colleen Hoover books are not they are romances, but they're light romances, meaning that there is a lot more going
There's more
on
fiction.
outside. Yeah, so it leans more towards fiction than it does to romance, which I think a lot of people are they are misrepresented when they're going into the book. They don't think of the other things that are going on. And from what I hear of what It Ends With Us, it's a lot about like dealing with how do I say this without spoiling it? But it's about dealing with like the two sides of a person.
Yeah, it's dealing with a person and then the actions that they do.
Yeah.
That's not what I was really like. I just when I came into it, I knew about Ryle. Like I knew he was a character. Um but I thought there would be more of Atlas, and when I was reading, I was like looking for more of Atlas and like his character growth, and like I thought we would get that in the book and we didn't.
Because
Um
is it dual POV?
no, it's just hers.
Yeah.
Um
I think that that's also shows that it's more about like her dealing with.
yeah, it definitely the whole story, like 90% of the story is about like what she's going through at the moment. Because it does like she there is like it time jumps a little bit. So like you start like there, then it goes 6 months, then it goes like 3 months, and then it goes like a couple days, and then it like so there's time jumps forward and stuff. But I don't know, I kind of was just expecting a different story overall.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think that it's not a good book, but I don't think I'll probably read it again. Now, Ugly Love, I will probably read again by Colleen Hoover. I want to read Verity too. I have that, so hopefully I can read that soon. But yeah, so those are the books I have read. That's let me count real quick because I forgot how many books that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm not counting the book that I read for class. So I've read 7 out of 12 books. So I have 5 left, which I'm currently reading by Kennedy Fox, Wanting You Close, which is the last book of the Lawton Ridge series. So I'm excited to read that.
Okay. Doing pretty good.
Yeah. What are
Hitting
you
a lot
reading,
out the
Grace?
park. I am doing less. Um, okay, so this is it. I started my challenge maybe like the 13th of December. Not giving myself, I had 12 days before that to really start hitting out of these parts. But I just something just was like, no, you're not gonna read right now. You're just gonna not do anything, which happens. It happens. But as always, as you guys heard with last episode, I am a huge fan of audiobooks, and audiobooks did come and save the day. So I so far have read Christmas books. Um, so the first one I read was Christmas in Rosebend, which is the second book in the Rosebend series, and it's by um N- Naima Simone. I feel like that's how you say her name. Um, she is a Black author, and her main character in this book was Black. I did not know that going in, and I was just like, oh, cool. Like, all right, we're because most Christmas books are mostly about white people
Yeah, it's like a
in
white
white
town in like
yeah, in white people
Alabama.
in white towns, and I'm just like, I want that Christmassy vibe. So the reality is you're gonna have to get through a lot of white stories, and this one was not. And this is me, I go in blind with most of my books, so that was like nice. And like everybody in the town, yeah, you had a bunch of white people, but you had a lot of other people too. And
It was
it was
refreshing.
it was very refreshing. It was very, very refreshing. So the story is like a quick synopsis is
Okay, we have 5
Nessa
minutes.
is shut up. Nessa is an ER nurse whose mom recently passed away about 6 months with cancer. Her father passed away about 6 weeks ago, or like 4 weeks ago, from cancer as well. Her father and mother split up when she was younger and had another daughter. That daughter was left to Nessa at,
As a
in her
kid.
guardianship.
Mm.
And her father's last wish was for them to go to this town to spend the holidays together, the two daughters, because they had never really interacted. They go to this town, and Nessa has been holding on to this secret that was revealed to her on her mother's deathbed, and then also her father's deathbed, which is about like her real view of what her family was like. So in this town, she interacts with this innkeeper's son, who is name is Wolfgang, which he's named, all of his siblings are named after famous musicians. So he's Wolfgang after Mozart. And he is a small town, guy. And, he has like about like 4 adoptive siblings, one of whom is the mayor of the town, who is Puerto Rican. And that story is like the first book, which I'm interested in that one. And basically he has to show her like, you can trust people, you can open up, you don't have to burden things alone. Meanwhile, he's dealing or moving on from like his ex leaving him and coming back to town. And their tension is so good. Their tension is like what carried me through. It's mostly like a romance based trust story. But their tension was elite. It was so good. Their spice scene was good, but it was like a 1.5 spice book.
It's like one that you're comfortable giving to your grandma.
No,
Oh.
no, no, no.
Mm.
There is like app description of what is going on,
Oh.
but not enough to make me like, whew, let me close the doors and close the blinds. No, it's not that type.
Okay.
But it is enough to make you like, whoa, okay. And especially because the tension is there. So it's one of those where it has spice, but it's not like, ooh, So that was that book. I did enjoy it. I did like the writing style. I like the story. I like the people around it. I like the town. I am gonna go back to read the first book. and the next books that come. My second book that I read was Another Christmas Small Town, which was by Lori Wilde, who does a lot of Christmas romance books, but it's like those white romances. This one is the 12th book in the Twilight Texas series. And this one I gave like a 3 stars because I did enjoy it. I liked more that the other couples were popping out in the story often, and like they were in it, mostly because they're married through cousins or they're married through like, you know, siblings of the main characters or whatever. That one is Friends to Lovers, Forced Proximity. They find a baby in a manger, and she is like, we have to take care of him. There's a note from the mom, who is a teenage mom, who's 14. She leaves the baby and writes a note, I'll come back for him New Year's Day. And she's like, you guys look like such a cute couple when you guys were there, so I thought he would be safe with you. Not knowing that these are not couples. She thinks that the main girl, her name is, what's her name?
Can't remember.
Her name is Jenna.
White girl name?
Jenna is like this like gothic kind of like really troubled past girl. She came into town when she was 19. She had a whole bunch of tattoos, very like eccentric looking, all of that. And he's this small town boy who's always been there. And the people around the town, all the couples try to open up to her, but she's very distant with everybody because she doesn't want people to know her past, this big revelation. They end up taking care of the baby together. And this baby helps them realize that they've been attracted to each other for a long time. She doesn't trust easily. He doesn't want to push her, but he wants her.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, things happen. It's a happily ever after. It's nice. I didn't like that there was a lot of push and pull with her, because it's just like, come on, you know that you trust him. You know that you want him. Just give in. It's okay.
Literally me with the Mattis obsession.
Yeah, I know.
Stopover.
I'm only okay with it in certain
Right into
times.
pet peeves.
Look, this one was what hit my pet peeve. This one hit my pet peeve of like, look, the man was doing his best, and she was saying like, oh, he's gonna hate me when he finds out about my past. He's gonna hate what the type of person I am. And she ends up telling him half, like the general of the story. I was a runaway at 13. I got into the bad crowd. I was doing drugs. I was doing, you know, having sex. I had a whole bunch of tattoos. Got into it with a much older man and had to get whatever it is, right? Foster child, you know. And he's just like, it's okay, but you're here now. And like those challenges you faced made you this person now. He's completely understanding. He wants her to be open with him. He doesn't care what happened in the past, because he loves that. All of that made her into the person that she is right now, which every girl wants, right? To be accepted, to be loved. And homegirl was still like, oh, he's still gonna hate me when he finds out the rest. It's just like, bitch, you had the chance.
Yeah.
You had the chance to tell him. Tell him.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Those are my pet peeves with the books, when it's so glaringly obvious and you're like, just do it. And they're like, no. And you're like, bitch.
It's just like, I wanted to pull her ear and just be like, look, bitch. But, you know, it worked out fine. The main thing that really pulled me through that book was like the other characters coming through and being like active in the book, and it made me want to like look up their books. And I know, because every time a couple was mentioned, it was like, oh, Naomi and her husband so and so, and it gives like 2 lines of like what he is or who she is. I'm like, oh, they definitely had a book. Let me go back and look through this 12 book series to see which book is theirs. And amongst the 12 book series, I found like 3 army books, like military books, 1 bodyguard trope, 1 undercover agent, there was a rock star and a race car.
Dude, rockstar romances?
So, and the rock star romance is with the pastor's daughter. And so that's why when I
You gotta be careful with that one, Grace. You gotta be careful with that one.
I know.
A little too close to home.
I know. That's why.
Don't ever do that to your mic again. You were just like, no, you like pushed it down.
Because the thing was coming up. I had to push it down. I had to push down the foamy thing. But yeah, it interested me. Other books interested me, and they looked like they had more promise than this one. Because it didn't feel like a second chance, anyways. Mm-hmm. So I am gonna read some of those more intense books, just to kind of get the vibe. It could have been a lot more for me. It could have been a lot more. And then my third book that I'm reading now is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey, which a lot of people have already read. It's a short book. It's a novella. It's a novella standalone. And I'm enjoying it. I'm only reading it because I have the audiobook. Otherwise, I would have been like, oh gosh, I can't do this right now.
I liked the book. I read it. I'm pulling up my Goodreads right now. It's a cute, short story. But I think she does better when her books are like 400 to 500 pages, because she can really flesh out characters and that tension. But sorry, my boss is texting me and I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up right now.
It's okay. This is my first ever Tessa Bailey, so I'm going in completely like blind with it, and I feel like this is a good place to start with Tessa Bailey,
because I gave it 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, if this is like not her greatest, but it is still like a nice story, then that's good enough, because then I can go on and I can go to her other books and be like, oh yeah, this is way much better, it only goes up from here, which from what I'm getting from most people is what it is. I am liking it. I love the audiobook because Aiden, he's from Tennessee, or he grew up in Tennessee, and the audiobook, he kind of has an accent.
He does.
It's very subtle, but it's there. And like,
when guys have an accent, I saw her video on TikTok of like him, like the audition, and I was just like,
I gotta see that. I'll
send it to you.
Send that to me, because like me, when a book is overhyped, I try to distance myself so much from it until I'm ready to step into it. So I don't know anything really. But one thing about this. People were saying that she worked. He was his boss. He was her boss, and they worked at an adult toy store.
Who said that?
That's what I saw. Multiple times.
Those people dumb. No.
Multiple times, and I'm just like, young bitches.
Wait, I think I saw that too, actually. Now that I'm thinking
so much that it's an adult toy store, and that's not true.
It's a department store. Like
it's a department store. It's basically like a Macy's.
It's more like a Nordstrom's.
Yeah,
Saks Fifth Avenue. That's what the level they're on.
Yeah. I'd say Macy's only because of like how big the building is and how.
But they are like a pricier place.
Yeah, they're like more upscale.
But yeah, no, I gave that her Fix Her Up.
I know. I'm jumping into that next. I'm telling you, I'm starting off the new year with audiobooks to the max. I'm not reading on my own ever again for a while, simply because my mind cannot.
I'm gonna try to get through. I'm trying to get to book 10 of Ice Planet Barbarians, and then I'm gonna try to read the entire rest of the Brutal Birthright series this week before I leave.
Oh yeah, because I got you all those audiobooks.
Yeah, I'm leeching off of Grace.
Honestly, you better start pitching in for them credits. No. Because right now you're just reading books that I have been begging you to read.
Literally, like
Books
I
that
won't
I have
read it
already
unless
read.
she's already read it on the Audible.
Yeah. I love audiobooks, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I do like it. I do like his voice. I like the lines that he has thrown out. I'm only on chapter like 3, 4, I think. And he said this one line when they were in the elevator.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
He said, because like it's very sunshine grumpy. But he's the sunshine.
It's the
for those who don't know.
Sunshine grumpy, and he's like, she is so grumpy. And he is literally like a golden retriever guy.
He is a golden retriever
loves
boy.
Christmas, loves bow ties. It's
so cute.
It's like making me smile. I really enjoyed him.
He said, "Don't let the bow tie fool you, Stella. I'm not always nice," he says with a deep burr in his voice. "When the situation calls for it, I can be downright rough." Boy, if you don't stop playing, you don't stop playing. Oh my goodness, this man.
Whew,
I swear, when he said that, and I swear, I literally pulled my phone away and I was just like, this man had me blushing. He had me blushing so hard.
Mm-hmm. No,
and then he said this other line, which I freaking love. He said, what did he say? He said he was like looking at her or something like that. And then he was thinking back to like them being close to each other. And he goes like, he's like thinking like, I wonder what it would be like for her to like sit down with me, for me to like touch those tights or something. And he goes, watching the awareness dawn on her face that I'm nothing in bed like I am in the street. I was like, boy, if you don't stop playing, because oh God. I said, Aiden, my Lord. Oof.
This man.
Anyways, I am liking it. It's making me blush. It's making me like, it's cute and it's light. That's what I like. That's what I need right now. So yeah, Aiden he's pretty good. I like it. And then after this, so that's 3 books, okay, people? That's 3 books. That's all I got. But after this, I am gonna listen to Ice Pine and Barbarians because it is available at my library. So I'm gonna listen to the first one, and then then I'm gonna struggle to get into one of my other books. I do want to read a book that an author sent me. She's Shane Rose. She's also on TikTok. She sent me to her duology of it's Inevitable and Reverie. And one of them is a billionaire romance and one of them is a brother's best friend romance. So I want to read those because those look really good. And
also, you have to read the Romance Book Club.
I do. I have that one, and I'm gonna start the audiobook. New year. So I'm gonna start the new year with a bunch of contemporary romances.
And surprise, spoiler, my friend Ada, he is reading. I gave him the Romance Book Club book to read. He said he wanted to. So, Snapchat. Hi, Ada. If you are listening to this, he knows about the podcast now. I finally told him about it. I sent him Garrison's episode because I was like, okay, a frat boy, Garrison, Ada's a frat boy. This is perfect. But he's like, can I be on? He found out about the podcast and he's like been like trying to find it, which he doesn't do a really good job. He literally could have just looked up who I was following and found it by that. But people are not FBI agents like I want to be. But
They're not. Men are not FBI
Men
agents.
are
The way women
incompetent.
are.
I'm sorry, Ada.
Women will find anything based
Yeah.
off of like a little corner edge of a picture. You should see the people like dissecting like celebrities, like
Oh my
beach
gosh.
pictures, and being
Literally.
like the clouds line up, and I'm just like,
Oh,
damn,
the
that's
one with
serious.
Harry Styles and no, Olivia and somebody. But that's
Olivia
besides the point.
and Sean
Sean.
Mendes.
Yeah. But so he's gonna be reading. I gave him the book and I was like, okay, you cannot dog page the ears, you cannot break the spine, 'cause that's a pet peeve of mine is when people return books and like I can tell like they've
Mm-mm.
like
Yep.
I like to keep my books like pristine and stuff.
Clean.
So like I expect you to like treat my book nicely. Just because it's my personal preference. Like I know people like to destroy, but he is gonna be reading the romance book club, and so I got the audiobook, and he's gonna be coming on. Hopefully our second episode back, so that I can just get it done with. But he'll be like in my room with me.
That means I have to hurry up and read it.
You gotta read it. It has to be the first book of the year.
Yeah, that has to be the first year. It's gonna be funny. But yeah, that's where I am right now. Will I finish 12 books of Christmas?
No.
Most likely not. But
is it a challenge for you?
This book right now, window shopping is, I want to say it's like, how many books is it? This book is going to be my 50th book out of 50 books for my Goodreads. So window shopping will wrap me up with my Goodreads reading
great.
goal. Ooh, yeah. Awesome. So most likely I am going to finish it either tonight or Saturday afternoon. Tonight's going to be kind of hard because I'm going to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. It's going to be awesome.
I just watched the first of Tom Holland's Spider-Mans. So I'm going to watch the second one. And then
Are you caught up on all Marvel movies?
I'm caught up on all Marvel movies, all Disney Plus series, except Spider-Man, because it's not on Disney Plus. So, but The Witcher season 2 just came out, and I am on episode 7.
Damn.
I started this morning while I was at work.
I still gotta finish watching it with that. No, I finished watching season 1, but I was watching season 1 again with Jacob.
It was trending again yesterday because I guess everybody was watching season 1 the last couple days. But season 2 is really good. I'm really enjoying season 2. But
excited.
Pet peeves. I kind of talked about mine of like people not returning. Because like I just feel like when I lend out books, I'm very like for like my like mass market paperback ones, I don't care. Mass market paperback, their spines are meant to be broken because nobody makes a book that fucking small without the spine being able to like not break. But
there's different types of mass market paperbacks.
Like the J.R.
The two that I have gotten, both of them were one of them was Harley Quinn and one was Avon, and they were both.
Those ones
floppy.
are different. Yeah, those ones have like the really nice like the spines
it's like
are
the
like
type
glue.
of like paper.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, but like you know that when you're touching certain books, there's certain pages that feel like softer. There's certain pages that feel a little bit like more like cleaner and plasticky.
Yeah.
There's different types of wood when it comes to paper, and I didn't know this until Katie Robert when she was describing what paper and like the binding of her special edition books. There's superior books, and like Avon's mass market paperbacks, they feel very good.
Yeah. Entangled, they have really good ones, but like the J.R. Ward ones, it's like the matte covers I find are really nice, but J.R. Ward's are kind of like it's the thicker ones that are like you're gonna bend it. But
it's like those older ones.
Yeah. Oh, but like I feel like if I like lend you my book and it's like return it as is, because I feel like I'm always careful with other people's books because I'm like I don't want to like hurt it or anything, and then like. But like I saw like my friend, she gave me back a book and there was like a small minimal tear like on the front, but you could see that there was like a tear. And like I know this is so nitpicky, like I know, but I like saw it and I was just like it hurts a little because it's my money that I'm spending on this, and I'm lending it out to people for free, and it's like, please take care of my books because this literally are my babies in my life, and I want them to last. But yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine is when people don't turn
Yeah.
it. Like yeah, it's a small nick and it's like a thing, but like
It's not really though,
it's
because
not
it's
that
like
hard
it's
to
your
like
book.
it's
And
not
it's
that hard
it's
to
not that
keep a
hard.
book like pretty pristine. I'm able to do it. And I take my books everywhere with me. That's why I invest in like so I got the book bow from Pauline's box. Like I
Yeah.
invest in book sleeves. I love book sleeves. This one is a really nice one. Like it's pretty like sturdy and like the padding is amazing in this one. So shout out to Pauline for this. But yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine.
And one of mine is, I mentioned this on my Instagram story today, Friday, is when books have social media
Oh,
and they have current pop culture references.
like TikTok when they talk about
Oh
TikTok.
God. Oh God.
I
Oh
had a
God.
book that I had. Okay, Kennedy Fox. Kennedy Fox, if you're listening, I love you, ma'ams. I love y'all. I love y'all with my being, with my soul. Y'all are like one of my favorite authors. Y'all are the nicest people in the world to me. Y'all literally send me books, and I love y'all. I love y'all. But they referenced TikTok in their newest book, and I couldn't. Grace, I had to stop. I had to stop and be like, literally,
It was not good. And
like,
now that I'm remembering, um Christmas in Rose Band, it had one line on TikTok, but it was like so throwaway that I was okay with it because it was just that and that's it. And she's just like, oh no, it wasn't. I think it was. And she was just like, oh, like being bored or something like that, or people how they spend their time mindlessly or something like that. And she's just like how people mindlessly scroll through TikTok watching Jack Black videos. I was like, okay, fine,
yeah.
fine. Let it go. But with window shopping, it's look, I don't like pop culture references in books unless there's something that is like universal and that is never going to go away. Like, for example, if a book mentions Star Wars, it's like you get a pass because
Okay,
it's
I think that's
always,
different because it's been like a part of our I think with like TikTok is still recently new.
it's a fad. It's a fad unless it like
Unless
stands the
it's like
testament
Facebook or
of
Instagram.
time. Yeah.
Facebook and like
Yeah.
if you think about it, Facebook and Instagram are like revolutionary. Like if you really think about it, like the meta,
Yeah.
that's what they're called. Stupid. But like
It's still Facebook. It's still Facebook. They're
Facebook
never gonna
has
get away from that.
so much control, and it's like Facebook is like essential to the 21st century.
It's definitely a big Web 2
Yeah.
moment. But now we're moving into Web 3, which is like my fear is like when people look back at books and it mentions like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it's gonna be like, damn, this book is old,
I
old.
think
We don't even use that. It's the same way that we would look at books that have MySpace. It's like
yeah,
we
I
don't
don't know.
talk about
I
that.
think okay, but like I think sometimes it comes useful when you have like stories that like involve like the use of like sorry, my like ring light stuff is like for one of Kennedy Fox's books, I thought it was okay because she had a small business and she uses Instagram to like model well, the book I'm reading. She uses Instagram as like her marketing platform and stuff. And she talks about how
Okay.
she has to
There's
create
there's
content.
there's what do you call it? There's exceptions to the rule. Instagram is an exception to the rule, but it's
TikTok is
more
not.
of just like a tool that you would use, not like a thing that you're heavy on, you know.
Yeah.
Another exception to the rule would be I don't know. I can't think of another one. Instagram is an exception to the
It
rule.
definitely is
Facebook as
situational
well.
how the author uses it as well.
Yeah, that's more, that's better. It's definitely, it depends on how it's used in the story, and it's if it's like a huge staple into it. And also it's okay if you're using it to depict a certain time. If you're like key on that time, if you are saying this is year 2015, this is year 20 whatever, like window shopping, the only reason why I'm okay with it is because it has been, it's said it's 2021,
Yeah,
you know.
it's they talk about the
So
pandemic in it.
yeah, they talk about the pandemic, so like that's why before he mentioned the time, I was like, the pandemic, really? Like, no, that's what we're you're it's kind of throwing a weight, an anchor in the boat, and it's kind of like making the book stationary and not able to adapt and be timeless. Like there's books
Yeah.
out there where there is no time, that where it doesn't say what year it's from or anything like that. The only thing that possibly could give it away is just like um typing on the phone or tapping on the screen. That shows what kind of phone is being used or something like that. But other than that, it's pretty timeless. You wouldn't be able to tell that this book is like early 2000s or like, 2040s, it's, I like books that are timeless, that I can read whenever and I'm not going to be thrown out of the experience because it's in the past or it's at a certain different time. If it gets something pop culture that is literally happening only in this year, that doesn't make an influence beyond the year that we're in,
That's true,
it's
yeah.
kind of like, no. The pandemic is understandable because
That's
the book is in 2021. It's a huge thing that happened
the
in
pandemic is
history.
it's like in
It's like a
20 years
world,
they're going to be
you
talking
know,
about it. Yeah. Like it's like
it's,
it's a historical event that like all
yeah,
pandemics, we like the Spanish
we,
flu, like
we lived through this.
yeah,
Okay, you
like
know,
it affects everybody, but
it,
not
yeah.
everybody watches Jack Black's videos on TikTok. So,
Yeah, so it's kind of like, don't do that. Don't do
yeah.
that. Don't do that,
You know what
please.
also is another pet peeve of mine is like when the author makes it like blaringly obvious about something, but like
Oh,
the the character doesn't know, but like it's so obvious that it hurts me because I'm like, just make it like known, or like because like the fact that like it's hinted but it's not said yet and then it's like later revealed and I'm like, well, yeah, we knew that. Sometimes I'm just like, it takes away like the
it takes away
sparkle.
from like that aha moment.
Yeah, where it's like sometimes I wish that an author wouldn't, they, it feels like they're telling us it and they're showing and telling at the same time to where it becomes too prominent in a book, when I think that like holding it back a little bit um would make it more compelling.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's something, because like it's definitely like this thing of like, if you're having dual POV and one character knows what this thing is, then
Mhm.
and the other one has to figure it out, that's different. But
Yeah.
if you're like basically like
Is there somebody
short
screaming?
of, no.
Okay, maybe that's in my place. Sorry, I thought I heard
Okay.
people screaming and I was like,
um but yeah, anything short of like a flashing red sign in front of like the character for them to realize this moment, it kind of takes away from like the whole arc of that knowledge.
mhm.
And it's annoying to the reader having to know this, whereas if it's dual POV and one character knows and the
It's
other one
different
doesn't, it's different,
because it's part
because
of
it's
the
just like,
plot.
oh my gosh,
Yeah,
when are you going to be able to figure it out? When
yeah,
are you going to find out? How are you going to react when you find out?
Yeah, but
Whereas,
when you know and like the main POV is the one character and you're like just like just if it sometimes comes to the point where I'm just like just tell the character already because I know it, and me knowing it isn't adding any value to the story now, where I'm
mm-hmm,
just like
mm-hmm,
either withhold it for a lot longer and make the revelation to us known later, but then the revelation to the character like a little bit after is better.
mm-hmm.
But like Penelope Douglas does this really well, where she in her Devil's Night series, I'm not going to spoil it, but they hinted at something with the characters since the book one, and it isn't revealed until book three. But like there were
Mm.
hints, and you could kind of like you're like, I don't know, but I could guess, and you're like, I can make an educated guess that it could be, but it also could not be. And Penelope Douglas does a really good way with that. That they are able to do that with how they write stories and stuff, where it's like having this element of mystery of like it could be this one thing, but it also could be something else, and like being able to take context clues and put it together, but also like not at the same time is something that I think some authors really struggle with, and then some authors really succeed with.
Mm. Yeah, I get what you mean. It sucks knowing and not being able to, the other person not knowing.
Yeah.
Um, so I have another one. There are, so this one is when the guy is too understanding of the girl's trauma, or not too understanding, but tries to break down how she feels and why she feels, almost like a therapist would.
Yeah. I know what you're
I
talking about.
don't like that.
It feels
Like for
patronizing. It feels
yes,
patronizing.
it does. It's like
Because men aren't
so
like that. Men are not like that. It doesn't feel
and
real.
and it's kind of like almost gaslighting in a sense, but
Yeah.
not gaslighting and saying like, oh, it's all your fault. It's not that,
It's
but
just
that's kind of what the vibe is.
it
And it just sucks. It's just like you were trying to do something. You were trying to make her feel understood. You were trying to make her feel seen. You were trying to show emotional maturity, and you hit the mark. You hit the mark big time.
and it's like also sometimes like I see this so much on TikTok is like the weaponized incompetence of like men
Mhm.
using incompetence, and like that's why like I love men written by women because like they aren't really that incompetent. But like it comes to the point where it's like they know it's like too much, where it's like you can tell like it doesn't feel real, and it feels more like it'd be different if he's like a therapist because like that's his job. But
Yeah, but even then, it's just like don't bring your job into our
yeah, it's
relationship.
still like is icky. And like
Yeah,
I get it that like women want guys to understand us, but there still is that like learning curve that they need. Unless they're a guy who has a bunch of sisters, those men are different because they know. They know.
it's a different line though.
Yeah.
Like for example, like let's say it's like this. Let's say it's this girl who had a bad past, troubled, never knew what family was like, and she's skittish with the relationship because she doesn't think that anybody would love her. Blah blah blah, and she's outing all of this to this guy, and he's saying it's okay because you didn't know what was right or wrong. You grew up with
Yeah.
no one to guide
To guide
you.
you.
You had to figure it out on your
It
own.
feels icky when people
you
do that.
are you were basically not, in so many words, saying you're a child from a broken home. It's fine that you don't know how to, but you can learn how to do it now. You can stay like, sir, that's not what I need from you right now. What I need from you right now is for you to listen and understand that I'm this way. Don't psychoanalyze what I'm feeling,
Yeah.
but understand that this is where I'm coming from. You could know what's going on in your head, but don't go out and try to like spew this language to me and tell me what's going on. Like, that's not what the girl wants to hear, you know?
No.
She just wants someone to sit there to listen and be like, okay.
Like, validate
Okay.
her feelings, but not try
I'm
to
not yeah.
mansplain. It's so
There you go.
it's the man. Okay, but like can we talk about the mansplaining on TikTok that happens? Like,
Oh,
women will be
God.
explaining something that happens for women, and then men are like, no, this is what happens. And like, all the comments are like,
Sir, ain't about you.
it ain't about you. And like, but yeah, I get that pet peeve. I think another one of my pet peeves, this has to do with style of books, is when the covers don't match.
Oh, yeah.
And what I mean by this is one particular series is
Yeah, I know which one you're talking
Christina
about.
Lauren's beautiful series. The first 3 books are black and white with colored text. Beautiful. Beautiful. First 3 books. Do you want to know what the 4th book looks like?
It's the other way around.
It's completely blue with a black and white guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is my pet peeve because on the shelf, the other 3 look so good together, and like they're like other series, like Filthy Boy series ones, where it's like colorful, what's it called? Backgrounds and stuff. It looks like it matches with this. This one does not match with the first 3. And it sometimes just bugs me where I'm just like, or like there's different heights to the books, or like, this is really nitpicky, but like the author's name doesn't match up throughout the whole, like, if it's a whole series and the author's name doesn't match up because like just printing problems, because they can't control that. Sometimes it just bugs me where I'm just like,
Yeah, right now I have, spoiler alert, but I have like the new animated edition covers, like
spoiler
the
alert.
UK. Yeah, I have the UK version.
Oh, what does that look like?
It's basically her in the bottom left corner with her computer looking up, pink background, and him at the top right corner, like looking down. And they're both like toon-ish.
I'm looking this up.
It's like a pink background with a yellow spine. It's very colorful and bright. And Olivia Dade's original is like with a plus sized girl and like him and his prince.
See. Yeah, I like the
original.
It's
more of a realistic cartoon drawing, and the new UK version is more toon style, like more flat colors.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's pretty, it's cute, it fits with that like cartoony, but I did like the original version. And the UK version was sent to me by Tish, but she just got it off of my wish list. It was just spoiler alert, but that's the one that got sent to me, not the original cover.
That's
like
weird.
the new one. And then I got the second one, which is All the Feels
Avon.
from Avon.
I love that
one
book.
Has the
That
original
book was
covers.
really good. That one was really good.
And I'm excited to read them, but now I have 2 different styles, and it's like, what to do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for other people who like one style and another, but sucks when you're trying to get one.
Especially when it, like, you have the
can't get
second,
it.
you have the US version in the second book. And but yeah, no, I got the second book as an arc, and I read it, and it was another pet peeve of mine. I'll have to say this before we end, but sometimes like when I open a book, this also has to do with formatting, is like you open it and as you're reading, you can tell that the words aren't exactly like straight. They kind of curve up. Have you seen that? I've noticed that sometimes with like self-published books. I've gotten some books where like it slightly curves up, and I'm like,
no, I have not.
It's happened a couple times, and I'm just like,
I haven't read that. I haven't seen that.
Do you have one last pet peeve?
Last pet peeve, and this is about like writers writing stories. And it kind of has to go with the pop culture reference. I don't like it when authors are too descriptive on what they're wearing.
Yeah.
And their style is it's not timeless. It's not like, something where it has a loose overall description and it's left to interpretation that is able to update with the times.
Yeah.
It's more like strict. Oh my gosh.
I know exactly which book you're talking about.
You know what book I'm talking about?
It is the worst book of 2021. It is the book that has made the most cameos in episodes. This fucking book. Like,
that book is the bane of my existence. And I'm still interested to see what happens with her writing journey. Because, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you have read early Wattpad 2000s, that style of like them saying what the main character is wearing, and then those images with the pictures pulled together in a collage of what they're wearing. And you know what I'm talking about. They have like that bright teal color, that black and white stripes pattern, the bangles, the infinity scarf, the short Tinkerbell ballerina dress. And it's just 2000 style was not it, nor were those
oh my god,
outfit
the cover
collages.
has been updated.
Oh, it's been updated. I gotta see this.
I'm sending you a photo right now. I feel so bad.
Okay.
But
I didn't like the first one anyways.
It's not that much better.
Oh. That's not much better. Nope. No, that is not much better. But that being said, I don't like it when the authors do that, because it's just like, babes, you didn't need to tell me the exact, thing.
Yeah.
What would be worse would be you telling me what designer designed it, what year, what season. I don't need to know all that. If she's
maybe
wearing
it's just
like
an edit. Maybe it's not the new cover.
But if the character is wearing like this beautiful sequin blue dress with straps that hugs her and trails behind her, that's enough.
I'm sorry.
I don't need anything else behind that.
If you say wedge heels and capri pants.
Oh my god. No. Or those wedge heels that are sneakers.
I'm cringing.
Or the cap, the like the baseball cap with like, no, I can't do it. Like with some Nike Jordans and like, no. That's like the Tumblr boy, the Tumblr aesthetic. I don't want that. I don't want that in my books. We are grown-ups. Let's move on. We left that back in 2010. Let's not bring it back over here. Okay?
Yeah. A lot of our pet peeves, though, are personal. So if you don't agree with us, that's okay. But
yeah,
we're going to wrap it up here.
If you do agree,
tell us. Yeah. Validate our feelings. Validate our feelings in the comments.
Validate us, please. We look for validation everywhere, okay?
Yeah, but this is where we're going to end this episode, our final episode of 2021. Thank you, everybody who has been here on this journey with us.
Last thing, Maggie, if you could describe 2021 in one word, how would you describe it?
Shithole.
Really?
I had the worst year of my life.
Yeah, that's true.
Grace, how would you describe 2021 in one word?
Opportunities.
Yeah, good for you.
Opportunities.
Mine was maybe
opportunities. I had a lot of different opportunities. I moved to a new city. I got a house. Big picture things. I
Commissions.
left a job that I was working with for 6 years,
Yeah.
left a place and a relationship that completely
Needed to
cut me
happen.
up. Yeah,
But yes,
new
so
job, it's all of
yeah,
that.
stay tuned. We will be releasing some products in February. Stay tuned. Follow our shop. Follow the Instagram. We will be 2-week break. So we'll see you in
In
2022
2022.
with our special guests.
In
2022.
2022. Thanks
Goodbye.
to everybody. You guys have all been amazing. You guys have stuck it out with us. You have done an amazing you have given us an amazing opportunity. We love you guys for that. And
thank you.
yeah,
And
you want to hear a TikTok sound that I'm gonna go into 2022 with?
yeah.
Okay.
It kind of cut out, but I know what it says. I don't want to get demonetized, or we don't have monetization. I don't want to get copyrighted. So great. But thank you,
Yeah.
everybody. And
Bye,
we
you
will
guys.
see you in 2022. Bye.